So let's start by paying attention to the body. One of the things we know about isolation is that it's actually a bigger risk factor in terms of lifespan than smoking or obesity, some of the new research that's coming out. So, isolation and loneliness is a real thing, and it's something that's distressing for lots of reasons. One of which is our nervous system, our primitive brain interprets isolation and being alone as dangerous. And of course, there are many ways that we overcome that or work with that, reaching out, getting involved with a series on Netflix can make us feel connected. There's a lot of different ways that that can happen. And then, of course, we have all of our deficiency stories around that. Well, why am I alone? It can land on deficiency stories from childhood as well. Or our experiences in childhood can be that we felt alone. So most of us have a long history of feeling not included or have feelings of distress around being alone. And a lot of that is just pure physiology. We're safer when we're in a group, a family group. We're safer from the lions and tigers and bears and the things that could hurt us in nature. And our physiology really reflects that. And then we feel that on lots of different levels too, our emotions. The reason I'm saying that is because it's very helpful for us to know that there's not something wrong with us if we feel distressed when we're alone or isolated, or if we have beliefs that have been formed early in life that are still affecting us about that. We could cut ourselves some latitude there and at least maybe not be distressed about being distressed or not judging ourselves about feeling lonely or having beliefs about that. That that's an understandable process. That's how it works. And then tune into your body and see what's happening in your body right now. Just a couple of minutes of talking and looking at that. And there might be some of us here who are really isolated. And for many of us, past traumas have taught us that other people are not to be trusted, that we can be harmed at the hands of other people. So there's a natural boundary setting that goes along with that. Our systems are always trying to do the best to protect us. And unfortunately, with isolation, it's not really the answer. And to complicate matters more, some people go into freeze when they're feeling triggered by something, other people go into reaction. So if you're one of those people who has the fight response rather than the numbing or the freeze response, then you're more likely to have an impact of that on your relationships. And that can also lead to isolation or being ostracized, being ousted from the group. This can be very multi level in terms of what's going on inside as well as the impact on our lives. Let's tune into what's happening in that space that the body is occupying. You could be looking at some of those words maybe as well. I'm alone. I'm lonely. I'm not lovable. I'm not included, whatever it might be for you. And if any of the thoughts ramp up in intensity where they kind of take over a bit, then take a break from being in the body and just really look at the words or the pictures. You can tap on them, trace the empty space around the outside of an image, and then keep coming back to the body. What does the experience of loneliness or being alone feel like in your body? And is that present right now? To notice, what does it feel like in your body right now? And if you're feeling alone or lonely, can you find where that is in your body? What does that feel like in your body? And notice your breath. Notice the movement of your body with your breath. And there's really no right or wrong way to look or to pay attention to our experience. Some of us might be just kind of relaxing back, noticing the breath, noticing that loneliness or being alone isn't a big experience in our life right now. Others of us might have that right front and center right now, especially when there's something else going on, like I feel sick, I'm not up to this for some reason, or maybe there's been a recent or an intense breach in the family somehow. We might not appreciate how we've been reacting or that this stimulus happened in the first place. But here it is. If there are a lot of memories or images, then you could put them up into a collage if you like. If they're video clips, you could put them on a bunch of screens, like a window in an electronics store. You used to see that with the TVs all on with a different visual image. Keep coming back and forth between images and words and your body. If it's images, you could put a frame around the outside. When you take your eyes to the space around the outside, we remember that we're looking at images that are coming up, whether it's an individual image or somebody's kind of compilation. Keep your eyes in the space around the outside, clockwise a few times, and in the other direction a few times. Or tap, whatever works best for you. Just tapping on the spot just above the eyebrows, the middle of the forehead. And in both ways, we take our attention away from the words and pictures and just put it into the space or the sound and sensation of tapping. Coming back again into the body. What does it feel like in your body as those images or words start to lose their intensity? Take a couple of deep breaths and re inhabit the body. And notice, where does loneliness or alone or isolated, where does that live in your body? What does it feel like right now for you? Put your attention right into that space. If it feels like that direct attention is not welcome, put your attention to the space all around it. Look and see what are the qualities of this sensation or energy. Does it feel threatening? Is it hot or cold? Does it have a color or shape? Looking at it in that mindful way reminds us that we're looking at a sensation that comes and goes. We're feeling it, we're sensing it. You could notice if you welcome it or if you would rather that it would go away. Of course, we don't have to welcome it forever. We might just welcome it for the next minute or two. Let it know that we'd really like to know more about this. What is it that's led to this feeling that's present in the body right now? Even as we're doing that, we're nurturing our body, staying grounded through the breath. You could be holding your hand on your heart, feeling of your feet on the ground. I'm alone. And notice what are your beliefs around why you're in this situation. And that could be deficiency beliefs, like I'm not lovable, nobody likes to be around me. There's all kinds of different beliefs that might form. It could also be something like that person is targeting me and I'm not able anymore to be part of that group or the family. It could be what if kinds of things or catastrophic thinking. Notice what your thoughts are around why you're experiencing what you are right now. What are your beliefs about that? Something's not right. It shouldn't be this way. Notice if there's anything like that. And of course, beliefs are thoughts, which are made of words and images. You could tap on them, trace the space around the outside of them. And if it feels okay, you could just sit with it. Just notice it. Look at it. There's that thought. There's that feeling in my body somewhere. What's your window of tolerance right now in this moment? Are you okay to stay with that thought, with that feeling? And we don't have to torture ourselves with thoughts and words, pictures. We could tap, we could trace, we could look at it and go, I can see that thought is causing me a lot of suffering. And we could turn our attention to compassion for ourselves. Maybe if we see that we're judging ourselves, we could reflect some kindness instead towards ourselves. Let it evolve however it does. And then notice that there's a natural sadness that might be underneath this. If a dear friend of ours was experiencing the same thing, we would understand if they were feeling sad. Notice if there's anything like that in your experience. Is there sadness, grief? What's underneath the thoughts, the beliefs? What else is here? Take some deeper breaths. Really stay connected with your body through your breath and through the feeling of your body connecting with the chair, the floor. Particularly notice the whole back of your body. Let yourself really be supported through the back of your body. Let your shoulders and neck relax. The large muscles of your back of your arms, back of your legs. If thought is active, then you could be looking at thoughts as well. Them all up like they're on a bulletin board. What are the thoughts that are kind of intrusive around it? The thoughts have settled a bit and you're focusing more on your body. Just notice if it feels like you could welcome whatever it is that's coming up in your body right now. What does it feel like right now? Is there anything that you could offer a part of you that feels lonely or sad, isolated? And if there is, allow yourself to receive that. Really feel that. You might see it in an image of yourself being included or hugged or something like that. You might feel that in your body. Really tune into that. I am loved. However, that comes for you. And then bring up the words again, whatever you were looking at in the first place. And think back through your experience with it. Maybe there's something to bring forward or to think about again, do some more inquiry around. Or maybe not. Oftentimes it's enough just to see it, breathe into it, allow it to be here for a minute. And set your intention that when you're feeling isolated or lonely, that you'll tune back into yourself. It is the one thing that we can always do is pay attention within, pay attention to ourselves, give ourselves that feeling of not being isolated, at least from ourselves. We can't always control what's happening in the outside world, but we can always tune into ourselves. And that really helps. And when you're ready, open your eyes.